Well done.
Okay, let's start with a prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to start very briefly with a word of thanks to Igor Azayev, the Consul General for the Russian Federation, for Alexei Pavlovsky, the Ambassador for the Russian Federation, and we would ask them to pass on our personal thanks to the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin. And not just to the President, but to the people of Russia, and also to the brave men and women who are fighting a real war against a scourge that has been controlling this planet for thousands of years. And our message is of thanks, and as I've said before, this is a debt we owe the Russians and others that we will never be able to repay, but it is one we will always remember. This is a real war, the truth of which will be coming out soon. The horrors that they are experiencing, you can see for yourselves. And when the truth does come out, and I wish we were wrong, I honestly wish we were wrong, but we're not. When the truth does come out, the others who have called us liars and fools will be deeply regretful. Because this is without precedent. This global conflict, this war for the world, is without precedent. In other wars, land has been the objective, and in the process, people have been killed. But this time, the purpose is the genocide of the entire human population. They wanted to reduce us to 500 million. The evidence is there. It is unequivocal. They just need to kill us. Now, we came very, very close to succumbing to this, except for the courage, bravery, and foresight of men and women around the world in various armed forces who are engaged in this conflict. So once again, to the President of Russia, thank you to your people and to your military. I'd like you to consider briefly how far we have come in a very short period of time. Now, some of you out there have been awake for 30 years, desperately trying to tell people what's been going on. It must have been a lonely place. And there are heads nodding. And some learned 20 years ago, and some 10, some 5, and some last week. If we wanted to know whether we were winning or not, we had evidence last night when they arrested Dave Graham. Because they were so desperate, they made a strategic error. A small decision with massive impact. They arrested Dave, we got the word out, and within minutes, and I mean within minutes of Kaz getting that first message out that Dave has gone down, we were getting communications from A to Z, from America to Zimbabwe, saying free Dave Graham. Now, we set ourselves the objective of making this New South Wales state election that's coming up, not just a state issue, not even an Australian issue, but an international issue. And I'd like to thank the New South Wales Police that raised it to an international issue. So thank you very much. So to Commissioner Karen, the Commissioner of New South Wales Police, and all those assistant commissioners who really run the show, thank you. A deep thank you, because now the world is looking at New South Wales, and the crooks in the New South Wales Electoral Commission, if they try to cheat, it will be so obvious they'll spend the rest of their miserable lives in jail. Ladies and gentlemen, we got this. We have got this. Now, somebody asked me, what's the point of voting? Because they're going to cheat. Of course they're going to cheat. That's why we call them cheaters. Because they cheat. Now, here's the thing. This has never been done before. And I love it when somebody says, oh, it can't be done. Why not? Never been done before. Really? Now you've got my attention, now you've got my interest. I'm just one of those guys. It's a bit like the 4-minute mile. Years ago, the experts, and as you know, there's a cheap one-liner about experts. X is an unknown factor and a spurt is a drip under pressure. The experts said the human body couldn't withstand the physiological pressures required to run a mile under 4 minutes, and everybody believed them. Until somebody did. And within 12 months, another 3 did. And all of a sudden, the 4-minute mile wasn't a barrier anymore. We can do this. We are going to mobilise the entire state to vote. We have already got Queenslanders, South Australians, Victorians and Tasmanians asking for where they can stay so they can come up for 3 weeks to man the booths for us. There are 93 electorates, and in each electorate you've got somewhere between 15 and 20 booths, and we're going to have them all manned because we're going to go online. You can download the how to votes, you can download the handouts, you can download the call flutes, you can print them out yourself, all legally. We'll have the instructions there. Give us a week or so to set that up. So if you're worried about it, you haven't got it yet, relax. We've got the best people on the job, and this will be done. Now, just so you're aware, everybody on this group ticket that we have, and there are 6 of us, you know that Dave and I are on, and you've met Jackie and Franco today, and there's another 2 to come. We've got 6 on. Everybody in the state, because we're all going for the upper house. We're not going for the lower house. Just get a bit technical here. This is not a local electorate we're running for. We're running for the upper house, which represents the entire state. So everybody in New South Wales will be able to vote for us. And the instructions will be there. Now, 1 or 2 things is going to happen. One, we're going to win, or we're not. Now, if we don't win, the evidence will be so tough that the New South Wales Electoral Commission will be found guilty of electoral fraud. It's just so obvious, because we know that they do that. Do not vote early. Don't go to the pre-poll. Turn up on the day. And why is this important? Because what they do with the boxes at the pre-poll is they throw them out. And they replace it with boxes of ballots pre-filled in according to their desired result. Because the Liberal, Labor, National Greens and UAP decide who's going to win well beforehand. You have not had a free and fair election in decades. And if you don't believe me, don't worry about it. Read Dr. Amy McGrath's books. The evidence is there. You have never elected a government ever, and they have certainly never represented you. But this time we have a chance. This is our last chance. Now, what's going to happen if we get in? When we get in?
Vote in the afternoon.
We have one job. Are we going to do deals and pass bills? Absolutely not. We have one thing to do, and that is discover and reveal evidence of crime by the polity, the bureaucracy, the judiciary and the constabulary. And there's no shortage of it. Why has the war on drugs never been won? Well, when the drug dealers and the big boys I'm talking about have got a direct link to the Premier's office, I'm not saying the Premier's a crook. I'm not saying he's part of a globalist family. I'm not saying his dad worked for the World Bank. And I'm not even suggesting it's in his office. But when the crooks have got a direct line to the Premier, you think the war on drugs is going to be fought? You think they care about your kids? The wars that need to be fought have never been won because they don't want to win it. They want to destroy you. They want to destroy your family. They want to destroy your kids. You are bugs to be crushed. I've got bad news for them and good news for us. There's more of us than them, and we're going to win. Now let me briefly touch on one subject that's going to get me arrested. Apparently the word sovereignty is now a hate crime. So I invite the New South Wales Police Force to form a queue to come and arrest me, and maybe you'll get some extra points from your Masonic mates. Let me ask you a question. Who can tell you what to do? Just stop and think. Who can tell you what to do? Okay, divine law. The Almighty, if you believe in one. Well done. Who else can tell you what to do? Your wife. Damn right. I've been married 3 times. I'm a slow learner, but you're right. Who else can tell you what to do? Your mother. That's a good one. You can't deny that. But in the case of the law, who can tell you what to do? Without your consent, who can tell you what to do? Bingo, and that's the point. There's divine law from God. There's natural law. You can't change the seasons, you've got to live within it. But each and every one of you is a sovereign being. Listen carefully. You are born with the right to determine how you live. And nobody, without your consent, unless you interfere with somebody else's rights, nobody has the right to tell you what to do. Now, when we get together as one and decide that we are going to stop this war ends. We are not going to get violent. And did you hear that imbecile Queensland police officer, I'm not even sure if it was the commissioner, saying that the train family up in Queensland were Christians. My God. And she said it with such meaning. She had no idea what she was saying. She looked desperate. Deers in the headlight. Apparently Christians are a terrorist group now. Really? That's interesting because we've had Islamic terrorists. Oh no, sorry, that was mental illness. So they can't find any Islamic terrorists. But if you say the Lord's Prayer and the word sovereign, they have to arrest you. Ladies and gentlemen, the New South Wales Police Force, fucking come and get me. Fucking come and get me. Now, there are a lot of good coppers out there, and they've been in contact with us. A lot of good coppers are saying, fuck this, get in and clean it up. Because they have had enough. They have had enough of the satanic pedophile sergeants and the Masons. They have had enough of the satanic pedophile commissioned officers. All they want to do is be let off the leash and arrest the crims, and we're going to do that. The world is watching us. New South Wales is now an international news story. They didn't know what New South Wales was. Please let the car through, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that. They didn't know what New South Wales was, and now it's #1 news story around the planet. Let's keep that pressure on. Spread the word. Now, they are watching us. Why? Because everybody wants out of this jail. We're going to be the first ones. We're going to show Australia how to do it. We're going to show the world how to do it. We're going to come together like never before. We're going to find a peaceful electoral solution, even though we know that we have an unconstitutional government in Canberra. We know that they are passing laws that aren't laws. We know that they are guilty of treason, even under their own bad definition of treason. And yet, and just so we are clear on this, why we are pursuing this particular objective this way. There's the optics, what people believe, what it looks like, and reality. Now the reality is there is no constitution, it is unconstitutional, we get it, we know that. But when 25.69 million Australians believe the Governor-General is the Governor-General and the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister, you've got to go with the flow. So it's a lot easier than, for example, the common law people saying, Article 61, Magna Carta, and I love the common law people. But I don't need a piece of paper signed in 1215 by a king who recanted within 24 hours to claim my sovereignty. I don't need a piece of paper. There's two reasons why. One, it's bullshit. Two, it doesn't stop a 9mm bullet. So waving all the paper you want to ain't going to work, guys. So keep on teaching common law, go for it. I love it, but it's not the solution. And armed conflict is not the solution because we know it doesn't work. A civil war is a wound that no country ever heals, ever. Now, despite the provocation of the feds in Canberra, where they attacked us with direct energy weapons, and I saw the result of it, and people went down badly, we did not retaliate violently. Despite the thuggery by some members of the New South Wales Police Force, and I hope they're getting all the sex they want in prison. And they're going to have a few people join them very shortly. And we might put them in the general population. The thuggery that we've been subject to, and yet we have not fought back. And is that because we can't? Absolutely not. It's good, and we don't want to because it doesn't work. We are going to find the electoral solution. Now, the electoral solution is this. We band together at this election, 25th of March. And the result will be so overwhelming, they cannot cheat their way out of it. We get into Parliament, we find evidence of crime, we lock up the bastards, and we give you a free and fair election. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your peaceful attendance today. We've got 5 6 work ahead of us. We'll have a website up shortly, and you'll be able to go on and find who you can help and who you can help and how to download all the work. And just so the New South Wales Electoral Commission is at peace, because, you know, be peaceful, my beating heart. I don't want to panic that we're going to cheat, because we don't cheat, because we're good, honest people, unlike the New South Wales Electoral Commission. So get ready. We've got 5 6 weeks. The world is watching. The entire planet is watching. And if we get this right, and we will, you watch the 26th. You watch Donald Trump come out on the 26th and say, ladies and gentlemen, look at Australia. That's how we do it. Thank you very much.